you were watching it with all the guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's hit him on the hit. Like Luis's front of his forehead.
He was going
the hardest part
goal.
of your head.
He was looking at the corner.
Yeah,
so it went straight like that.
Like someone's forehead going into your temple. Oh God! Imagine the pain of that. That's why he was out for so long, which is kind of a really scary thing because when someone goes out like that, that's if you get like in boxing, like or MMA, you see guys get knocked down and then like 5 seconds later they're kind of like back to right. Yeah. When someone gets hit like that and they're out for a while, that's like a
coming in quick and like Luis ran into it.
But that's like someone taking a piece of you away. You know what I mean? Like it's so horrific whenever stuff like that happens. Like and the Mike Tyson exhibition fight this weekend. Mm-hmm. That when fucking stupid Paul brother knocked out Nate Robinson, he's on the ground like that. Like that takes a lot out of you too. So. Yeah. I mean, when you're out for that long after a head injury, like that's you're never the same. Like you're never the same person after that, unless you're just absolutely crazy. But
yeah, I don't think he's ever coming back. Then
no, I don't. If he comes back, I'll be very surprised. And if he comes back this season, I'll be shocked. I don't expect him to play it for this season.
Hell no. So I don't think people would let him. I mean, even the Dodgers would be like, "No, dude, you're kind of done."
Not worth it, man.
Could go into management, middle manager somewhere in Mexico.
He could be a striking coach for sure, but
he's probably one of the most renowned international players they've had aside from Vela and Lozano, but he's still a kid.
And Chicharito.
Yeah, but I'm currently.
Yeah, Carlos Vela is a weird story. Came up in Arsenal with that Eduardo guy. Yeah,
no, he
played for Arsenal. Swear to God, started at Arsenal, didn't really make it, went somewhere else, and then he ended up in LAFC. And now he's like their best player.
But is he at Villarreal?
Rings a bell. Might have been Villarreal, but he definitely played for Arsenal because I remember him playing for Arsenal.
Huh?
You know that one? Was that the one little short? I don't know if he was Spanish or Mexican. His name was Eduardo. And he had that really bad ankle break where his ankle was basically like turned the complete opposite way.
What
happened in
season?
Champions League? Oh, this was like, the season where Arsenal. It was before this actually, but he came back this season. You know the Arsenal crest, where they had the crest and then they had the big, plant thing that came up around it. And it was all white. It was like I think the last season of Cesc there. And then Van Persie was when they had the white sleeve jerseys with the red down, like just the red body and then the white sleeves, and then the crest was white.
Yeah. I
can't remember what season that was. Maybe it had to have been. It was 2 years before Van Persie went to United, so I guess 2010, maybe. But
Word.
That Eduardo guy, he got injured in the Champions League, and dude, that was a nasty leg break. Same, I think it was basically the same thing that happened with Luke Shaw.
Was Luke Shaw's really bad?
Oh. Dude, his knee was turned the other way as well. Like, it was awful.
Who did it?
A Mexican dude as well, actually. He plays... what's his name? I think he was playing for Benfica, and now he plays in the Mexican league somewhere.
Diego Carlos.
No.
The dude at Sevilla.
Maybe. If I saw his face, I'll know.
No, is Diego Carlos Brazilian? Look up Diego Carlos. I need to know if he's Brazilian or not.
He is... Yeah, he's Brazilian, but this is not him. I'll look it up.
He's on the same team. I can't think of that dude's name.
But Hector Moreno, that's it. He's the guy who broke Shaw's leg.
Is he on Bilbao?
Huh?
Is he on Bilbao?
He was at the time, yeah.
Okay.
No, he was at PSV. That's what it was. He was at PSV.
Fuck him, dude.
Yeah. Dude.
Roughing up Shaw like, dude.
Look at this.
So that's why Shaw got fat. Fuck me.
Yeah, dude. That's
oh man.
Like that's his shin guard in this picture, but his bone is coming out as well. That's why in that one picture where it shows his leg, why it was like his shin was all taped up was because his bone had to be put back into his leg, and then that was like as like a skin graft thing. That was like making sure his skin like came back over.
Dude, there's fat shits on Twitter giving him hell, and they've never broken a bone. Yeah. He's out there putting his life on the line.
Like, look at that. His leg should not be like that.
Oh my god.
And before Shaw was so dirty. And yeah, you can even see the scar on his leg still. Like, yeah. And the thing was, it wasn't like Shaw was like his foot was on the ground, the guy tackled him. Like Shaw was like running, and the guy came in 2-footed like that, and like just bang, snapped it. And that's when Shaw, when I was like, he's the best left back in the league. But then since then, and he had
when was that?
2012.
No, it wasn't 12.
It was.
Was he there in 12? Fergie never
had
Shaw,
No. He got there.
Well, I think Moyes bought him.
Was it Moyes? This was in 2015. So yeah, I think Louis Van Gaal is one.
Louis Van Gaal bought him.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, because we saw it Evra in 14.
God.
Didn't we? We saw it Evra under Moyes.
Yeah.
He was there for one more year and then went to Juventus in 15.
Because Woodward fucked him. He was like, Woodward was basically like, yeah, I want you to stay. I have like, here's your, like, we'll have your contract agreed or whatever. And then, like, Evra has a thing about it where, and he was like, next thing I knew, I was watching Sky Sports and Man United had agreed a fee with me to go to Marseille. I was like, what? And then when he called Woodward to ask, like, what's going on, Woodward wouldn't answer the phone.
Oh, what a fucking prick.
Yeah. Ed Woodward for you, man.
Oh, we got Shaw, though.
Dude, Shaw was so good. And he actually had the drive to be the best. And now, like, just looking at him sometimes, I'm like, man, you could still be so good.
Well, I think it's the injury and the combination of what he's seen going on in the club the past few years. He's probably thinking like, yeah, we'll get second, and then next year we'll get seventh, and then next year we'll get seventh, and then next year we'll get third.
And I mean, he's getting $250K a week. He probably doesn't give a fuck.
Why would he?
Because
you know, apparently, I bet Tellez is getting paid way less than Shaw.
Yeah,
right now.
You know that Bruno is like one of the least, like has one of the least paychecks at United right now.
Yeah, that won't be for long.
No, I think he's on like $150 a week, which is nothing for United.
Still probably twice
Phil
as
Jones
much
makes $180.
It's still probably twice as much. Though.
It's twice as much as what he was making at.
It has to be.
Sporting's
not paying him over $100K.
Same as Tellez, yeah, but.
I mean, they're living, very well right now, but that's criminal to be paying Phil Jones $180 over Bruno's $140.
And, but yeah, I think a lot of what's going to happen in the second half of the season depends on who does business in January. I don't think Chelsea need to do any business at all. Their team is pretty good. They've got depth in every position.
Yeah, they'd only hurt themselves buying anymore.
Yeah,
and they've got the youth too, is already being starved.
Unless you got rid of Rudiger and you wanted to bring in like a younger player, but if you already have Ampadu coming in, there's no point in doing that. And then who's the other guy? Is it Tomori is on Chelsea, or is that
Tomori's at Chelsea?
Yeah, so they could probably get rid of Rudiger and then they'd still be fine, because I think they want to get rid of him.
People on Twitter are screaming for Odoi to play, but where the hell do you put him?
Yeah.
Who do you put?
You don't start him over Pulisic. You can't. And I don't know why Pulisic isn't playing more.
Who do you leave at home for Odoi? Like, loan him out for the time being. I mean, no. Let's be realistic. You putting Havertz in top 5 Wonder Kids is asinine.
No. I said top 5 as like young players who are at the top of their game right now.
Asinine.
Which, I don't know. If you like, you could say asinine, but when you watch Havertz play, his mindset for someone of his age, the way he plays is like very mature, in my opinion. Like watching him play is like watching. I don't want to say this is gonna sound outrageous, but like watching like a young like Zidane or like kind of a young Pirlo. That's pretty outrageous. But there's the way that he's like, if you watch him and he sits back. And the way that
how well he knows the game now.
That's what I mean. But not like he's like up to their level, because he's nowhere near them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
but
he will be. But
for his maturity for now, for being 21, is unreal. And that's why I would put him top 5. But like everyone's saying Mbappe is so great. Like he did nothing against Harry Maguire, who is the slowest center back you could ever come across. And he didn't do anything in that PSG game today. And the same thing, he got bodied by Tuanzebe 4 times.
Is he playing up the middle or out on left?
playing out. He was playing out on the left the first game. In this game, him and Neymar were kind of like down the middle together. But I mean, when you're supposed to be the fastest young player in the world, and then a center back keeps up with you and pushes you off the ball like you're not even there.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, like... And, again, everyone talks shit about, like, the French league and, like, how it's...
And they should.
Yeah. But... And he had a great World Cup, but then look at the players he had on the teams with him in the World Cup. Like, I think if he...
Was he playing through the middle or on the left today?
He was playing... He was, like, off the left, but he was coming into the middle. But, like, I don't think he could put Mbappe top 5. I think Haaland is, by a mile, the best young forward or attacking player in the world.
Without question, yeah.
Like, it's not even... no debate.
Like,
he scores goals wherever he goes.
Yeah.
He's got 26 goals and 26 appearances for Dortmund, I'm pretty sure. Something outrageous.
Proved it quick, too.
Yeah.
Like, got into Dortmund and said, this is my shit now.
He's got, I think, did he get a hat-trick on his first appearance or 2 goals to win it or something like that?
Yeah. He's insane.
I think in 100, I said this in our group, but in 100 professional career, or 126 professional career games, that includes, like, starts and substitutions, he has 100 goals.
Mm-hmm.
That is absurd.
Yeah.
No matter where you are. And the first, I think, was like 30 goals he got was in the Norwegian league as a 16-year-old. Like, no matter what league you're in, if you're getting 30 goals as a 16-year-old, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
And then, obviously, you got to put Sancho up there because of his year last season and then the first half of this season. But this season, the Bundesliga, I don't think he's been doing great. I'm pretty sure he's been a bit of a diva because I haven't really heard. Like last year, you're hearing all this stuff about him on Sky Sports.
They should have let him go.
Yeah.
The thing is, they should have let him go because if a player doesn't want to be there, you're paying for him, which is dumb in its own sense because you're paying for him to sit there and be miserable and not perform for you. It's a lose-lose.
And then also, if you had just like, I understand United.
It's not like you don't. It's not like you need that money. You don't. They've sold a lot of people. Pulisic and Dembele, they sold for not too much, but a lot of money.
Apparently, Dortmund do need the money because they have to give a certain amount of money to Munich all the time because Munich is like saved them from going into bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also another reason why Dortmund give Munich players for super cheap is because they like literally owe Munich like their club.
That's not illegal, is it?
No, I mean it's just like they gave you like it was just like a loan out or whatever. Like Chelsea was bought for. There's this rumor going around. I don't know if this is actually true, but Chelsea was bought for £1 by what's his name, Roman Abramovich, which don't know if that's true, but yeah, if you get a team can help you out, like with United, whenever the Munich air disaster happened, like all these teams, like Liverpool, I think Arsenal and Nottingham Forest, they all gave United players. Like these are like kind of young guys or older guys, and they want game time. We can't give it to them, so they can come to you. And then United paid all of them back, so technically it's not illegal. I mean, Bayern did them a favor, and then Dortmund are just paying back the favor, which. After how many players have they gave Bayern for dirt cheap, and then
that's good for business too, for brother. Because what's Bayern without Dortmund?
Yeah, but yeah, and then the thing was like United were trying to be cheeky. Well, Ed Woodward really was trying to be cheeky with Dortmund and be like, so you guys gave us this August 12th deadline, and if we don't pay up, then we're not getting Sancho. And then the last day, United put in 3 bids of 110, 115, and 120, and all 3 were rejected because the head of Dortmund was like, we're not selling. We told you this is the date. And then Sancho obviously was kind of upset because he's like, I thought United really wanted me, blah, blah, blah. But then, if you look at it now, if they had let Sancho just go then to come to United, they would have had 120 million. Where now, United could probably be like, well, he hasn't performed in the past 6 months since he stayed, and we'll give you 100 million for him, but he hasn't been worth 120 million.
Yeah.
So Dortmund might have shot themselves in the foot just not letting him go, losing 20 million. But the biggest loss that any English team has done is let Jude Bellingham go to Dortmund.
He's been killing it.
He is.
He was as good as Birmingham said that he was.
Yeah. He is so good, and I doorbell.